those two guys from work who won't shut up about football, but are pretty damn entertaining? Well, they decided to buy a couple microphones. And with that, we welcome you to the CheesyCorn Sports Podcast, where Justin Adams and Martin Cheney wrangle over everything college football and NFL. Bold predictions, hot takes, and live game reactions. This is CheesyCorn Sports.
Welcome in, everybody.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Sports. I'm Cheese. That's Corn. And we are finally here at week 3. Get a little bit larger of a sample size into the 2023 season. League winners becoming a little more clearer. And bust candidates are finally emerging. Not just those week 1 flukes. So, with that being said, and injuries, of course, cannot ever forget about injuries. Justin, Corn, how are you today?
I'm doing all right, man. Week 3, week 3 is already here. Not too excited about that. I feel like the season's already going to go by quick. So not much for me to watch with the Texans, but my fantasy team's injured. So, we're struggling, but we're making it. I'm excited regardless. So I'm ready to get into this.
Absolutely. Last week first of all, we did start a little bit late today. Just some technical issues on my side as well as just overall. So
caused by mine by accident.
I'll take full credit for that. No worries. But yes, we do already have a comment on it. John Quinn wants to know, Martin, what did you do to your face?
Knew it was coming.
I went back in time, made it about, maybe 5-10 years younger. Got tired of waking up with the back of my neck drenched in sweat every morning and said, enough is enough.
And
I'm chopping it all off. And so here we are. Yeah.
It's interesting. I will give it that. It's interesting. I think this is back to Navy Martin.
Yeah. So it's funny because I never actually had this hairstyle in the Navy. I had the stereotypical kind of bro Navy type thing with the comb over,
I had this.
Yeah. And I went in with a different idea of what I wanted. And then as we were talking it out with my barber, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Hard reset. I'm just going to.
I don't blame you. I like it. It's so much cooler. I can't even look. My hair is too long right now. I'm freaking out about my hair right now. So,
yep.
John don't love it.
That's okay. That's
John
all right.
We all can. We all have a right to our opinion, John.
Yeah. End of the day, I was really tired of hair getting in my face. And by the way, shout out to all men and women who deal with long hair on a daily basis.
That's a lot of women.
You guys are absolute troopers for that. I got so fed up with it that I was just like, all right, you know what? 18 months was long enough of growing it out. You guys do it for decades, if not your entire life. So
looks good for the show.
Yeah. Well, plus I can put a headphones on now without having to shake the hair back before I put them on. So
I feel that not really.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah. Derek, I shaved my head, had to get rid of it. Yeah. You shaved it now or before? I don't know. Have you ever shaved your hair before? I don't remember. Derek, you've always had short hair though. He was in the Marines, so he's always had short ass hair too, even before that.
Yeah.
But this has been my hairstyle for basically I went through when I was little, bro. They thought I had Tourette's, bro. Funny fucking story. I got the wildest stories I know. They thought I had Tourette's in 3rd grade, dude, because I had a bowl cut. I don't know if it was irritating my forehead or something, but I was I would always do this for a year and a half, dude. And they thought I had a tic or Tourette's. And one time accidentally caused me to drink bubbles, bro. And they had poison control and shit. Yeah, bro. Dude, I did it while I had the bubble thing in my hand, and the bubbles before I went to blow, fell down my in my mouth, and they had called poison control and stuff, bro. My life's a meme, dude. Come on now. Come on now.
I like it. I like it. All right. So we're probably going to have to move at a little bit faster of a pace due to the delayed start this morning, but that's okay.
We got it.
I did want to take a couple minutes and talk to you about what I thought was one of the better college football slates of recent memory, at least this season for sure.
Yeah, it was good.
There was a lot of good games, in my opinion, a lot of good matchups. And ultimately, I mean, I know it was low scoring, but I had such a blast watching that Ohio State Notre Dame game.
That was a good ass game, man. That was a great game.
It really was.
4 minutes, Prime getting humbled. Hey, let's go. All right, listen. Lando, listen. All right, first off, Oregon. We knew what was going to happen. Oregon went and fucking literally, I'm sorry, I apologize, went literally like exactly what, for the first 3 weeks, man, all these little new-ass Colorado fans were like, no, bro, it's different, like changing college football. And I'm like, dude, you know how many people have tried to change college football and can't? Like, there's a reason there's blue bloods, right? And so this prick comes in here with a little prick-ass kid wearing a gold chain on the field like a weirdo. Like, I don't, what, like, who, there's no character, bro. Why are you wearing a gold chain on the field? Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, I don't know about you, Cheney, but like, I feel like that was like, I don't know where you were from, but like, you don't wear gold chains on the field. Like, that's like, your coach is like, no, that you're not like, that's not something like we do, because like, first off, that's an NFL thing, right? But we're in like high school, college, right? Those guys typically aren't able to wear stuff. So why are they flashing their stuff on the field, first off? Secondly, I never said primetime was not going to turn Colorado around, but I told people this year was not going to be the year. I told them they were going to struggle a lot this year. They're not going to be very good this year. And everybody's like, they come out and beat TCU. TCU, mind you, struggled with SMU yesterday. TCU struggled with Southern Methodist. Okay. We have a new quarterback. Our quarterback then fumbled the ball 4 times. So like, we didn't have a fight chance in hell to fumble the ball like that. Week 3, they played against Colorado State, who's not even in the top 100 teams in college football, and they took them to double overtime. And now finally they hit a team that's good. Like, they finally hit a team that's good, and they literally got bullied. They got bulldozed around. They got steamrolled around that field. Dude, I was all there for running up the score. I love to see primetime sad little stupid looking dumb face on the sideline like this. He went from his whole I ain't hard to find out to this little, like, he's just sitting over like this, bro. It was so sweet, dude. We're out here playing for fucking wins. They're playing for clicks, baby. And well, I hope USC plays better than they did last. Oh no, I just got Gunner barking. I hope USA plays better than they did yesterday, but regardless, USC is going to steamroll Colorado. And yeah, take this job and shove it, Dion. Look at my balls. Sorry, you too. I can continue, but I don't want to. I mean, I do want to, but we got stuff to get to.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
So my take on it is I'm not a Colorado hater. I'm not a Dion hater, but I'm not like,
am I allowed to cuss?
I'm not. I've been cussing the past 3 weeks.
All right. I probably have too. I just don't remember paying attention to it.
I mean, we might not be like Pat McAfee show level, but you know, a couple things slip out here and there.
And it'd be like that.
Yeah.
We were in the Navy.
As I look at it, right, I'm looking at the Pac-12 this year, and it's actually pretty funny that the Pac-12 chooses its very last year in existence to actually put forth some competitive teams.
Exactly.
People got to remember that, like, yes, you know, on paper, the victory over ranked TCU coming into the season was, you know, impressive, all things considered. But once you look into it, TCU lost Max Duggan. They lost Kendre Miller. They lost Quentin Johnston. They lost a lot of those guys on defense from that national title team. So that was that TCU Miller. Team, yeah. That TCU team was an absolute shell of themselves in comparison to what they were last year.
They won a top 40 roster coming into the season.
Right. And they still put 42 up on that defense. Nebraska was able to move the ball on them throughout those first like 2.5, 3 quarters. And then they ran out of gas with the turnovers and stuff. And then, they really pulled away there in the fourth
Yeah, that was
quarter.
13. That was 13-6 up until 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Our offense turning the ball over. Our defense was constantly on the field. They wore down. Like, you can only.
Yep. And then, of course, there was, Colorado State, which we all saw.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you look at those objectively, right, with no hate or bias for or against them, it was pretty clear to see that outside of Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh, and Travis Hunter, that team was not deep. That roster is not that talented. Do I think
68 scholarship players?
Yeah. Do I think they get there in a few years? Sure. Why? Because people are going to want to go play for the name of Deion Primetime Sanders.
It's an automatic recruiting cheat code.
Right. Absolutely. It's the brand aspect of it, right? And I think when people say the prime effect, I think that's really what it is. It's the brand name of it. It's like buying Nike versus buying the same product without the check on it, right? Like
it's not like he's a superior coach.
Right.
It's not like people are saying like he's like literally changing college football. No, he's just a big name that kids want to play for because he can get them to the NFL.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And he has the swagger. He has a huge fan base from his time, both in baseball and in football. So I get it. But it's going to take a few years for them to actually build a solid football team. You know what I mean?
That's college football. That's what I tell people. It takes time. Even with us, like Nebraska, like it takes time. People just want to come out and be perfect and win every game. That's not going to happen. Like if y'all thought that coming into the season, that was your own fault.
Yeah, absolutely. But we also know how people love to jump on the hype trains and stuff for, you win a couple games, you have a big name at coach, you have a few highlight plays. Like, people are going to hop on the hype train. People are going to take it way too far and say some crazy shit like, oh, Colorado's going to the college football playoff and stuff like that. Like, no, that's not it. As I see it right now, Colorado is probably like the 8th best team in that conference. USC is better. Oregon is better. Utah is better. Washington State, Oregon State, and UCLA, all better. We saw what happened when they played Oregon yesterday. By the way, I am on the train for Bo Nix to be a Heisman finisher
definitely.
this year.
He's the front runner. I think he's going to win it. If he stays healthy, he's going to win it.
Yes. Bo Nix, I'm so happy he found a team like Oregon that fits his play style. He was drowning at Auburn. He couldn't get anything going. He just lost his confidence altogether. Goes to Oregon, balled out last year, and he's balling out this year, especially on national TV yesterday. But Colorado is going to get decimated against USC next week. They might beat Arizona State. They might beat Stanford. And people might start to hop back on the train as they go into UCLA at 5-2. But then they're going to lose to UCLA. Then they're going to lose to Oregon State. I think they lose to Arizona. I think Arizona has actually done a good job of putting forth a relatively strong team in comparison to recent years for the Wildcats.
Very possible.
And then they close out the year losing to Washington State and Utah as well. So 5, maybe 6 wins is what it is. Now it beats the sportsbook preseason future of 3.5 wins, which is great. You can look at it and say, hey, if you really want to call it a success, you look at the 1-11 season they had last year, and they turned it into 6 wins, and they actually got people interested in Colorado football. That was the goal for this year.
Let's be fair, though, that prediction was presuming that, TCU was who they were last year, similar. Presuming that Nebraska was going to take a big jump in the first 2 weeks. So there was a lot there too that went in their favor, and having a lot of lucky breaks, and like TCU could have, like, they left 17 points on the field. They could have thrown. I need to stop talking about this before we don't get to the NFL though.
All right.
So
yeah. Last thing I'll say is, there's no O line and there's no defense. That's really about it.
And to clarify, people, my issue is I've always hated Colorado, right? Deion's just the face of Colorado at this point. I've never disliked Deion his entire career. I was always a Deion fan. He's just the face of the team I hate. And Colorado is one of Nebraska's biggest rivals throughout history. And well, he's the face of that school, obviously. So he's getting all the heat while he's there.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. And then real quick, what were your thoughts on Ohio State and Notre Dame?
Oh, that was just a gutsy performance by Ohio State. It seemed Ohio State was, with Marvin Harrison Jr.'s ankle being a little banged up, it seemed like Emeka Egbuka had a great game, though. There was a few times where, I feel like they left a lot of points out there. I just feel like Kyle McCord was missing some balls even there at the end to TreVeyon Henderson, like just little slight miscues in his throws. But the final drive, like, that's what you want to see from a young quarterback, like a quarterback that has the ability to drive his team down the field in that situation, maintain calm, composure. Like 4 starts in, bro, like you can't be upset about that at all. That was a crazy inning. Walked it off with that. That was nuts, man. That was something to see.
Yeah, I was reminded again why I no longer root for ASU watching that game yesterday, and that is because the running back who won the game, Chip Trainum, transferred from ASU. Florida State's top receiver, number 14, Johnny Wilson, transferred from ASU. Jaden Daniels, LSU, obviously transferred from ASU. All these dudes that ASU just had on the roster had all this talent that you can clearly see them going to up to 3 of the other top 5 Power 5 conferences.
Yep.
And just completely balling out. So, yeah, very, very sad to see. At the same time, I'm happy for them to go and actually go to a place where they can showcase their talents. But at the same time, Sam Hartman supremacy forever. I was on this train for years, not just because he.
I will back that. I will second that.
Not just because he grew a beard and a couple girls on TikTok. So, Sam Hartman forever. All right, let's get into the NFL.
Let's do it.
All right,
where are we starting out?
Let's just start right here. Chargers Vikings. Caesar Sportsbook did not have a favorite. They literally had there is no spread, just straight up a pick 'em. What do you expect to see in this game?
Well, I expect to see the Chargers defense not give Herbert a lot of help. I think I got to go with the Vikings in this one, just with the Chargers down Eckler. Yeah, I got to go Vikings in this one.
Okay.
I do like Mike Williams a ton this week, by the way.
Yep. I'm rolling Chargers because fuck the Vikings.
Yeah, I'd rather the Chargers win, so I hope I'm wrong, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the Chargers are like the AFC version of the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of close one-score games, no defense, a lot of high-flying offense. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And with that in mind, I just think that the Chargers, they have a few more pieces on defense that are stronger than a few of the pieces on the Vikings defense, specifically Derwin James and Kenneth Murray.
Yeah, and the offset of like the Cousins Herbert disparity is made up for in Cousins' weapons, right? Outside of Mr. 3.7 yards per carry, Alexander Madison, who I told y'all not to draft this year.
Rock on.
You're welcome. Should have been listening.
Yep. If I can get away with it, I'm not taking either team, honestly, and I'm just taking the over. Right? That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not touching this game.
But for fantasy, if you have Keenan Allen, if you have Mike Williams, we're going to get to Joshua Kelly here in a little bit. If you have, obviously you're starting all these guys if you have them anyway. Yeah. But you're starting Joshua Kelly. To me, you're starting Alexander Madison, and that's only because this is going to be the last week you get Alexander Madison to himself.
Yep.
After this week, Cam Akers is going to start rolling into it, and then it's just going to get even more of a muddy mess. But you're also starting Jordan Addison. You're starting, obviously, Justin Jefferson. Obviously, T.J. Hawkinson. Desperate starts at tight end. You can start Gerald Everett in this game. Desperate start. Yeah, desperate start if you have a super deep lineup. You're starting KJ Osborne. It's kind of a little desperate play, but at the same time, that big playability is there for both of them, and they can possibly get you some points.
My question was, are we starting Justin Jefferson?
Oh, yeah. So that was a little bit
maybe
a little bit on the fence for me. If you have to, go ahead and roll with
deep
it.
league start.
Yeah, little 17-man league. So, all right. Let's move on. We're gonna fly through the games today so we can get to our start and sits.
We got a question in the chat. Hold on one second.
We do.
The answer is sit. Absolutely do not start James Conner.
Yes, and I'm going to talk about James Conner a little bit more later once we get to our start and sits. So sneak peek, James Conner is a sit. Yeah. I have both Ramondre and Kenneth Walker in my top 10 running back rankings this week.
Let me look.
Walker pretty high, actually. I don't remember exactly where, but I have him at like the 6th range or 4th range or somewhere around there.
Oh, that's cool.
And I have Ramondre Stevenson right at around like 10. So
that's cool. I typed my rankings in, and I think I put them on yours. Whoops. Kenneth Walker at 4. Kenneth Walker at 4, and then Ramondre at 9.
Yep. Okay, cool. But yeah, so definitely start Ramondre and Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
And sit James Conner. Okay. On to Broncos at Dolphins. Dolphins are favored -6. This is my lock of the week. You gotta ride the wave of the Dolphins while Tua is still healthy, while that offense is still together. The Broncos gave up a massive comeback to the Washington Commanders last week. By the way, once again, another underdog of the week. You can put that on the books in the W column for myself. Had me sweating there for a little bit, but hey,
yeah, I know, right?
we got there eventually. So, but yeah, Dolphins -6 on this one. Tyreek, without Jalen Waddle, is going to be the main focus point of this offense. You can start Raheem Mostert. He's had a good start to the season. So you want to ride that train as well until A-Chain gets fully into this offense before who's the other dude? Jeff Wilson Jr. comes back healthy. Yeah. Yep. So ride the Raheem Mostert train until that happens.
Yep. This is still tough because the Broncos. I mean, they're not a terrible team.
Nope.
Still play very well, but I think I'm going to take the Broncos. I think the Broncos might come up with a backdoor cover. So I just don't know if I trust the Dolphins' consistency enough to be able to trust them with a -6. But I hope the Broncos lose by a couple touchdowns just because I don't like Russ. So
sure. And Justin, I don't have your lock and underdog of the week written in here. So once we get to the game, the game that has yours, just let it know and we can.
I'll toss it in there. Actually, I'll type them in there.
Sweet. All right, moving on. Patriots at Jets. Patriots favored on the road -2.5. Patriots defense has re-emerged this year. Last year they were kind of a rollover, but you got Matthew Judon coming back hard. Christian Gonzalez, by the way, is showing that he is quickly becoming one of the top rookie defensive players of the year.
Yeah.
Right now, through the first 2 weeks of the season, he's probably my pick for defensive rookie of the year. Just who'd they play last week? They played
the Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, they played on was it Sunday night or?
I forget who they played, but whoever it was, I'm pretty sure it was a big name.
Hey, me too, because I had players on both sides. I cannot remember for the life of me.
Patriots at Miami. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was.
And Tyreek, I mean, the difference from week 1 to week 2 with Tyreek was pretty night and day. I can pull up Tyreek's week 2. Yeah, so he still had 15 points, but he dropped from 15 targets to 9 targets, 11 receptions to 5. Only had 40 yards on the day. His yards per catch went down from 19.5 to 8. And then, of course, he did have a touchdown. So, I mean, without that touchdown volatility, like you're looking at only like a 9-point game for him.
Yep.
And so Christian Gonzalez was a huge piece of that. So now you have a struggling Jets offensive line going up against a decent pass rush with Matthew Judon and Zach Wilson, who's also struggling to find his receivers open. There's a lot of like short passes to the running backs, short passes to the tight ends and stuff like that. They're using Tyler Conklin and stuff like that, in a lot of the short game stuff, and they're struggling to move the ball. So, I mean, Garrett Wilson for me is kind of there are worse players to sit, but at the same time, like if you can afford it, like if you have a deep enough receiving crew or like and the flex, I would consider sitting Garrett Wilson this week.
Man, I don't know. That's tough. I think Garrett Wilson's a must start, no matter what. I think he's there. You're starting him. I get it though, because it's tough sledding right there right now. You do not trust that offense at all, especially against, with the way I described the Patriots is what I was thinking last week is I think Bill Belichick is so good at coaching that he's still like doesn't get enough attention, right? Like in this day and age, like before I get it when they were winning the Super Bowls and stuff, but that team, that team is so well coached, and like no matter what, like that the Patriots aren't going to beat themselves, and that like they may not be able to out-talent you or keep up with you because of the talent, but like they're going to be they're always a tough matchup because Bill Belichick always has that team ready to go. So yeah, right now Patriots -2.5 to me is I like that. Jets are horrible right now.
Yep. So. And the Patriots -2.5 was almost my lock of the week. But I like the Dolphins against the Broncos defense a little bit more. So, okay. We got a question here. Alex, thanks for the question, dude. Jacoby Myers, Tutu Atwell, or Terry McLaurin in PPR format?
Tutu this week.
Yep. I'm riding the Tutu Atwell train until Cooper Kupp comes back and Tutu becomes irrelevant.
He'll be the odd man out of Puka, Kupp, and Tutu. Dude, names or something else like that. Puka and Tutu.
Hey, I love it. But yeah, Tutu Atwell.
I'm rocking with Puka right now.
I've been a big actual like Tutu Atwell kind of hater these past couple weeks. So let me clarify.
I'm all for it.
I don't think Tutu Atwell has season-long value. I don't think he has like where you find the most value outside of like the current like 2-week projection for Tutu Atwell is a dynasty bench stash. That's really about it. Once Cooper Kupp comes back, Tutu Atwell is going to fall back into this Van Jefferson role, and Van Jefferson has maybe like 2 career games of being fantasy relevant, and it was because of some deep shot out of the slot. So it is what it is. But Tutu Atwell for this week. Although Jacoby Myers is actually a sneaky play. I like the fact that you're entertaining Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby. I would definitely start Jacoby. That's the only receiver that I would be interested in starting. Honestly, from that. So Terry McLaurin's a no ever.
Yeah, and it's such a shame too because Terry McLaurin is a fantastic receiver.
Yeah, he's good. He's very talented.
He's one of those Ohio State products, and we all know Ohio State is pretty much the wide receiver U nowadays. Outside of like the opinions of those in the South, they might tell you otherwise. But yeah, Terry McLaurin is a traditional offense wide receiver. He is a quarterback drops back, they run a route, and they throw them the ball, which, of course, on paper, that is the wide receiver.
That's usually
position.
how it goes.
But in Eric Bieniemy's offense, that's not what he looks for. He looks for the guy he can bring in motion on a jet sweep, a guy that he can throw a screen, a bubble pass to, run the option with out of the slot. And that is Jahan Dotson. That's not Terry McLaurin.
Correct.
So I love Terry McLaurin. I have Terry McLaurin in one of my leagues. I'm starting Terry McLaurin this week, but that's because I have no other option.
That's a tough situation to be in. That's kind of where I'm at right now with Cooper Kupp and Eckler injured.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta play what you gotta play.
Yep. And I mean, like he did okay last week for me. He did have the touchdown. I would have had around 10-ish points without it. But again, he only had 6 targets, and for a receiver that you drafted as high as you did for Terry, I'm assuming you want more of a heavier target share.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, back to Derek. PPR flex position: Rashid Shaheed versus Green Bay or Jake Ferguson versus the Cardinals. Justin, I will let you take this one to start.
I'm a little biased here because Jake Ferguson's my dude. But so okay, here's where I'm at with Ferguson. Okay, so if you watch the Cowboys games, like Ferguson had a second touchdown in his hands last week. When they get inside the 10 yard line, his usage goes up. They even they use him on little quick hitters. They've given him a handoff. Like Ferguson's being used on that part of the field, and so he's going to have that upside every week of touchdown or multiple touchdowns, especially with how Dak uses his tight ends. So I honestly think I trust Jake Ferguson as a tight end a little more than I trust Rashid Shaheed right now. So I'm gonna go Jake Ferguson.
Okay. Yeah. I'm probably rolling Rashid Shaheed on this one, but that's only because I am 100% against starting a tight end in the flex position.
But that was my battle. Screw it, whatever. Yeah. I'm on the Jake Ferguson train. I started him in my flex last week, albeit because I was down so many people. But yeah, I like Ferguson just because his upside. I think his upside's higher than Rashid Shaheed just because of all the touchdown volume that he has. Potentially coming to him. So
absolutely. Rashid Shaheed he's actually doing really well with Derek Carr in this Saints offense, by the way. Like you can see the foundation that this Saints team, I think in a year or two is going to reestablish a good hold in the NFC as far as contention goes. I don't know if they're quite there yet because they do have some work to do on the O-line, as well as they're going to have to worry about replacing Cam Jordan as he gets older. They have some work to do on the linebacking core. Again, Thomas Davis, or one of the linebacker with the last name Davis. Either one, Thomas or Demario, he's old. I can't remember who it is specifically.
I think so.
He's old. Marshawn Lattimore, awesome. And thank you, Chris.
You saw from the top ropes.
Yeah, but you're going to see a lot of attention thrown Chris Olave and Michael Thomas's way with Rasul Douglas and Jair Alexander, and I think that's going to open up a good amount of work for Shaheed, kind of over the middle in this game as well. So.
Yeah. I'm like I said, my bias is probably taking over a little bit with me picking Ferguson, but again, it's the upside's there. So when I'm having a last second start sit where it's kind of torn like this, I'm the type to go with the upside.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. Chris said Demario Davis. I'm going to roll with it. If he's wrong, it's his fault.
No, I thought it was Demario too.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, Thomas Davis was on the Panthers, I believe. So, anyway, Brian Robinson or Mike Williams? That's actually a really good question. I like it.
Oh shoot, I got both of these higher than normal, dude. Because I like both of these matchups, bro. Because do I have both of those as my starts? Hold on. Let me look at my starts and sits of the week real quick. So I have, if I can find it.
You have a different running back at start.
Okay, but I was tempted. Brian Robinson, this guy and another guy, but I do have Mike Williams as my wide receiver start of the week. But PPR, I'm going with Mike Williams. I just prefer to go wide receivers over running backs when possible.
Yep.
Just higher floor typically.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm rolling Mike Williams on that one. Okay. Hayden Hurst or Jake Ferguson.
Go ahead.
Keep in mind, this is non-PPR on this one.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. You know my answer.
It's Hayden Hurst. And let me tell you why it's Hayden Hurst. Because it's non-PPR.
It's not.
It's non-PPR, right? So Hayden Hurst is used a lot more throughout the field than Jake Ferguson is. So you need a little bit more yards. I think if you start Jake Ferguson
you need touchdowns, which is what Jake Ferguson.
Well, that's my point. If you start Jake Ferguson, you are basically relying on a touchdown.
Negative. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying his usage goes up down there, but he was targeted a bit last week. Just didn't really the plays they ran to him were pretty bad. The throws weren't great, but it's Ferguson. Don't listen to this guy. I don't know who invited him to the show, anyways.
Hayden Hurst, his Hurst's usage week 1 was actually relatively good. Obviously, caught the touchdown, and then he wanted to shot put Bryce Young's first career touchdown into the stands.
Good. But he can't reach it. He should have just held it up like this and then
held
grab
it up high.
You
must be this tall to receive a touchdown.
It's like a little brother just trying
to give it back. But but I think Hayden Hurst, especially with Andy Dalton at quarterback this week, because Bryce Young is out. For some reason, if you started Bryce Young this week, get him out of your fucking lineup. I'm rolling Hayden Hurst. But in all fairness, I don't really play non-PPR all that much. So
and one thing too, I do want to.
Christian Watson and Aaron Jones are inactive today.
Crap! So I need to go bench Aaron Jones then.
No, I'm so fucking irritated.
So again, for a second week, I am without Eckler, Cup, and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Mind you, week 1 without Cup, I scored the highest total, and I almost won week 2 without those 3 and DeAndre Hopkins being banged up and Kyle Points. No, it's definitely not his name right now. Kyle Pitts. Not getting me many points. Yeah, Kyle Points. That's what I'm going to call him. When he finally shows up, I'm going to call him Kyle Points because that's what I've been.
Kyle lack of points.
That's what it is right now. I still traded for him, though. I'm still buying him because he's 22 years old. And Travis Kelce didn't peak till he was like 30, bro. Come on, now.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. Kyle Pitts is going to be better than Kelce.
What?
We'll take. When it's all said and done, just watch.
Okay.
It's because I have him in 2 leagues. I gotta drink Kool-Aid here.
Right. It's like the season and a half you were a Russell Westbrook fan because he was on Houston.
No, even you knew I was having a hard time with that. I was trying so hard to convince myself to have. I was like, how am I going to root for this guy? There's one guy in basketball I'll never be able to root for if he's on the Rockets. I will literally not be a fan anymore. It's Steph Curry.
Yep.
And there's one quarterback in the NFL that if he's a quarterback of the Texans, I'll not be a fan anymore. We all know that is. It's Mahomes.
Yeah, it's Trey Lance. We get it.
I don't want Trey Lance.
All right. Would you start Mike Williams over Puka or God forbid, Jamar Chase. Damn.
Definitely not over. If you got Chase, you're not sitting him. In my opinion, you can't sit him.
Yeah, it's
right now. I would probably take Puka because I think he's going to have a higher target share, and I do love Mike Williams' upside this week. However, let's go with what we've seen the first 2 weeks, and Puka's getting targets, and and Mike Williams has not been the most consistent guy throughout his career. Whether it be injuries or all that, but Keenan Allen's kind of been the go-to like PPR guy. So if it's between them two, I'm probably going to go Nakua.
Yep. It's fantasy football 101. Don't sit your studs. Always start your studs. If you have Jamar Chase, you have to start him. It is what it is. I feel your pain. I have Jamar Chase in a league myself. I'm still starting him this week.
Yep.
You have to. Like it's the law, basically, right? It's like saying nice after someone, says 69. Like
if you fight the law will win. That's what the song
right. Well, thank you, Justin, for the great insight. Cheney, you look pretty.
Hey, that's what I invited him for. I just need him to like bring in eyes. Like we got the new haircut on display. We just let him talk a little bit and think he knows what he's talking about. And
Yeah. All right. You ready for a fucking 32 team deep league question here?
A what?
Good friend of the show, Cooper White. Demario Douglas or Westbrook Akine or Kyle Granson?
I don't think you spelled Akine. Is that how you spell it?
You know what? I'm convinced there isn't a correct way to spell Akine. So
give me Westbrook Akine, bro.
Yeah. As much as I like to think I know football, I could not tell you who Kyle Granson plays for right now.
So the one thing about Westbrook Akine, first off, is like, dude, when there are times where he gets targeted heavily in games, and so like, I don't know what it is. But I feel like no matter what is going on in that receiving core, there are still games where he gets peppered with targets. So, dude, I like Westbrook Akine as like a super super deep league play. But damn, it's Cooper. How many teams is this league?
You know what league this is?
Oh, is this in ours?
Yes.
Oh, is it?
You know what league this is.
I actually didn't even realize it was ours.
Yeah. It's Westbrook Akine.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Yep.
100%. I mean, I'm not saying that with too much confidence because this is, look at where we're at with this, but yeah. I'm
looking at his squad right now, and yeah, he's got Jalen Waddle out. He's got Christian Watson out. Cam Akers isn't playing.
I'm just looking up how to.
Kamara suspended.
All right, it's Westbrook Akine is Ikhine. Akine. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a fucking spelling bee word if I ever heard it.
I will point out though, Kyle Granson's name's spelled incorrectly. I don't think it's an I in it.
I think it's Granson instead.
Yeah, it's Granson.
Yeah.
Waddle, Watson are out. Oh, damn, that's tough. Should have traded Watson to me, Coop. We were in negotiations all day yesterday, but me parting with JSN, dude, is proven to be tough just because, like, I have FOMO, dude. I have JSN FOMO. I'm afraid to trade him. He's just going to bust out.
And I think that's kind of what Chris is dealing with Jamar Chase, too, right? Like, the 1 week he finally says, enough's enough, I'm sitting Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Is the week that he finally fucking blows up. So
that's why you don't say, yeah.
Exactly. That's why you start your studs. So, all right, Big Trev, thanks for the question.
Ford or Warren? Okay, so we'll go this one first.
T
or Kelly? Go ahead. Give me T.
Man, I love Joshua Kelly.
But I'm high on Kelly this week. But like, if it was, let's say it was, if it wasn't playing the matchups and stuff like that, typically, like, the guy you're going to start, like this typically is not going to be a question that people are going to ask because typically T is going to probably be a locked and loaded maybe wide receiver too. But it's a good problem to have. But I just have a hard time sitting a guy like T for a guy like Kelly. Like, I bumped up in my rankings because I just think T, again, another thing too with the wide receivers over running backs, I typically like to start a wide receiver in my flex over at running back because they typically perform more consistent than running back. So I am going to go T.
Yeah. I don't think we can tell Chris to not sit Jamar Chase and then turn around and say start Joshua Kelly over T. Higgins. I don't think in good conscience we can do that. So under the same logic, not that T. Higgins is as much of a stud as Jamar Chase. Like he is, I would consider him still a stud. Go.
But
go
Kelly's a fill-in and T is a locked and loaded start, So
Correct. Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Trev. Oh, we got another one from him.
We got another one.
Another standard. Whoops, my bad. I clicked it off. Or you clicked it on.
All good.
Ford or Warren standard league. Ford. I had Ford, dude. Actually, I don't like Ford's matchup this week. Okay.
Damn, bro. I think
Jalen Warren.
The answer.
I'm not a big fan of Ford's matchup. I'll go Warren.
I think the answer for me is Jalen Warren for PPR leagues, Jerome Ford for standard.
I just don't like Ford this week.
I get it. Neither do I. By the way, shout out if you spent all of your fab on Jerome Ford.
Oh yeah,
suckers. And then Kareem Hunt signs 6 hours later. Shout out Eric. By the way, you know who you are.
That was it's personal.
It was. Funny story on that. He wanted to know how much fab I was putting in on Jerome Ford. He kind of like hey, I'll tell you if you tell me. I tried to convince him I wasn't putting in fab on him, in which he said, fuck it, I'm going to throw it all on it because I don't believe you.
Damn, and then you lied like that, bro.
I didn't. Well, okay, no, I did. But
what are you talking about? You just said you did.
Okay, all right,
fabricated the truth. Whatever, Cheney. Semantics.
I didn't explicitly say I didn't. I wasn't going to. I said I don't, or like, who's to say I'm not, or like, I don't know, man, kind of thing. So play the cards close to the chest and
skeptical hippo.
Psychological warfare.
Bring him in here. I want to hear it. I want to hear verification.
Yeah. I'll give him a fins up and let him roll with his day.
So you're going. You said Ford in standard, Warren in PPR. All right, so we split. So all right, I'm going Warren. He's going Ford.
Yep. Okay.
So I hope that helps. Sorry, Trev. But I will say it's not by a ton. I do like Jerome Ford, but just this week, not as much. All right. Set one PPR, Gabe Davis, Nico Collins, Higgins, assuming no Burrow. Appreciate the question, man. Thank you. I am sitting Dave Gavis. Gabe Davis, not Dave Gavis. Yes, Gabe Davis. I love Nico Collins this week. I did have him as my wide receiver start of the week before I changed it. And then Higgins is, you're starting him over these guys no matter what.
Yep. You're starting Higgins.
Even if there's no Burrow, I'm still starting him over Gabe Davis.
Yep. I think the Bengals are going to have to pass the ball this week, regardless of who's at quarterback. And that's going to turn into opportunities for both Jamar Chase as well as T. Higgins. I think you have to ride the target share train of Nico Collins. I see no reason that target share goes down in any way, shape, or form.
There isn't one.
That is a season-long good target share.
See, I'm a Texans fan. I can tell you, outside of him and Tank Dell, there ain't much.
Yeah.
And we're doing a lot of hot routes because our offensive line can't block anything.
Correct. So, sitting Gabe Davis. I do like his matchup this week, but you're sitting Gabe Davis.
Yep.
All right. Get back to some of these games here, yeah? We left off.
Thanks for the questions, by the way, y'all.
We left off at Patriots and Jets. Let's move on to Ravens -8 against the Colts. By the way, all these lines are per Caesar Sportsbook as of last night. The lines moved this morning. I do apologize, but, I can only do so much outside of real time. So, Ravens -8. Colts, Anthony Richardson is out. Another week without Jonathan Taylor. So, I flirted with this one being my lock of the week for the Ravens. Also on the Ravens side, Odell Beckham Jr. is out as well. The Ravens are getting hit with an injury bug, which isn't uncommon for the Ravens.
Yeah.
But Lamar Jackson has Mark Andrews, has Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is a huge start for me this week. I think Zay Flowers pops off against this Colts defense. But yeah, I think you're starting Pittman. You're starting Zay Flowers. Obviously, you're starting Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. Yep. If you have one of those super deep leagues, you may have to start Gus Edwards on a desperation throw. Wouldn't feel great about it. If you have another option, I would definitely I would start Josh Kelly over Gus Edwards. I would
not a big fan of Gus Edwards.
Right. I would start Jalen Warren over Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards is probably you're relying. It's kind of like Matt Breida, right?
Gus
you're
Edwards and
relying on a
Jalen Warren's
touchdown.
close. Gus Edwards and Jalen Warren's close, but yeah.
Right. So, what's your take on this?
I think -8's a little steep. I do think, I know the Colts, they're up and coming, or they're trying to almost kind of rebuild, but the Ravens offense hasn't inspired a ton of confidence in me, and I don't think the Colts overall as a unit are very bad. I think they're well coached, and I think they might backdoor cover. I don't think they'll win, but I think they might backdoor cover this, because eight's a big spread, man. I have a hard time doing an 8-point spread with the Ravens looking like they have been.
Yeah. I completely hear you. Okay, cool. Who would you rather have moving forward, Kareem Hunt or Jalen Warren? PPR league.
Is this redraft? Probably. I would say probably redraft. Yeah, that's tough. Maybe.
I'm rolling Warren. I'm rolling Jalen Warren.
Dude, I'm so on the fence, but I'm not a Kareem Hunt guy. I never have been. You know that.
Yep.
I think I got to go Jalen Warren. Dude, this one's tough because you got I don't know, man.
Yep.
That's tough. But you have the old guy, stud, former stud against the newer fine and polished object, But I think Jalen Warren.
Yep. Jalen Warren, just for clarification, over there on week 1, he had 9 opportunities, 8 touches, with a 40% snap share. And then last week, his snap share kind of gradually increased, went up to around 43%. Had 12 opportunities, 10 touches, had 88 total yards. Got you 12 points in PPR formats without a touchdown.
Super efficient. I think what the Steelers are doing is when he's on the field, they are facilitating touches for Jalen Warren. I think he is explosive in the screen game. He's explosive on those shorter passing routes and stuff like that. Seeing 6 targets in both weeks 1 and 2 is very encouraging for him going forward. I don't know how quickly Kareem Hunt kind of molds back into it. And hey, if Jerome Ford does kind of take over that backfield, who's to say that Kareem Hunt's not just there for a couple of breather snaps for Jerome Ford here and there? It looks like it'll be a split, which is why I'm almost tempted to go to Kareem, but I just don't know what that split's going to look like. And I don't think is Kareem Hunt 100% healthy right now? I don't feel like he is, but
I feel like
I'm very much on the fence. So for consistency's sake, I'm going to go Jalen Warren.
Yeah. Also, report came out a couple
hours
ago.
Hold on. 1 second. Sorry. Dougie. That's what I like to see. If you're watching the show, please give it a like. Thank you. And again, if y'all like the show.
All right. And nope. Okay. Justin's back. Nope.
Died or something. Oh, there he is. Are you back?
I'm back. You froze for me. I don't know what happened.
Well, that didn't happen on my end, so stop lying. Anyways, if y'all like what you're watching, give it a like and subscribe. We really appreciate it, and we would love for y'all to come hang out with us every Sunday. I think it is my Wi-Fi because I'm getting a little signal thing at the top.
I got you.
Dude, I have fiber. Oh my God, go away. Internet. Appreciate you, Duck. Derek.
Last note on Jaylen Warren. Report came out a couple hours ago. He is expected to see a bigger role tonight against the Las Vegas Raiders, averaging 9 touches, 52 total yards per game. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so little breaking news here. Deshaun Watson reportedly fined for 3 different infractions on Monday night. If he is to be suspended for violating on-field playing rules, the Browns potentially could wipe out his future guarantees per Sports Illustrated.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it.
I'm assuming it's for the altercations that took place on the field in last Monday night's game. Wow. Yeah, I like it.
Karma.
You know, it's actually crazy because I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, that's actually a pretty swift, decisive, harsh punishment, which is wildly ironic.
They don't want to pay him all that money.
Yeah, right.
They're buyer's remorse right now.
100%. 100%. Shout out Texans for winning that trade, by the way.
Yes, sir.
But yes, sir. Yeah, that's huge. Obviously, pending, the length of any possible suspension as well.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, let me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go take Aaron Jones out of my lineup for a forget.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. I mean, hey, if you're in Dynasty League formats, hey, go pick up Dorian Thompson-Robinson right now.
DTR.
Go pick him up, stash him on the bench, throw him on the taxi squad, whatever you need to do.
He said that, not me.
Hey, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, if you remember all the way back to the pre-draft quarterback rookie dynasty rankings.
Because he was fun at UCLA. He was fun at UCLA.
Yeah. Loved what he did at UCLA. Balled out during the preseason, then everyone wanted to act like they knew who he was all along.
Dude,
you guys are wrong.
Bro,
I was
right. That was Dameon Pierce last year too.
Yeah, 100%. I knew who he was this entire time because I watched him go toe-to-toe with Caleb Williams in that USC and UCLA game last year, which was probably one of my favorite NCAA games of last season. But yeah, go pick up Dorian Thompson-Robinson. That's a long-winded way of saying all that. So, okay, cool.
Yeah. Got it all out. Guess what? Your boy might have to flex Jake Ferguson again. Because Aaron Jones is out, Kupp's out, Eckler's out.
Yep.
I am. Yep. Dude, what is it? It's week 3, and I'm down my first, second, and like 5th round draft picks. And I still almost pulled it out last week.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just.
Do you want to go through our sponsor real quick?
Let's do it. All right.
Share my screen here.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
All right. And you're seeing there on the screen, that is GG's Seasoning, brought to you by, it's the official seasoning of CheesyCorn Sports, but it's brought to you by our friend of the show, Matt Berger, and Senegal and Beyond. It's the store that him and his wife have. She's from Senegal, and they have a ton of stuff from Africa in there as far as foods and different, snacks and stuff like that, sauces. And his wife formulated the seasoning over a few years. It's great. It's kind of a do-it-all, all-purpose seasoning. So I highly recommend it. Again, a good friend of the show. So we really appreciate it if y'all want to go support them. Use code CheesyCorn for 10% off at checkout, and then we drop the link in the chat. We can drop the link in the chat.
Yep,
or
it's
just
already in there.
There we go. So go over to ggseasoning.com, use CheesyCorn, and and go and support. He always supports us, so good friend of the show, like I said. So head over there and go get some GGs, man.
Absolutely. Good friend of the show. Always happy to support. All right. We got another question here from our good friend, Gin and Toxic, a.k.a. Jay Dangles.
What's going on?
You know what's nasty.
What's up?
Got a question here. Tyler Lockett or Jordan Addison in the flex? And then a second question of Najee or Madison at running back. First question is a very easy answer for me. Second question, we can kind of dive into here.
Are you going Addison one or Lockett
Yeah,
one?
I'm rolling Addison.
It depends for me.
Give me all of the pieces in that Minnesota and LA game. It's Jordan Addison for me.
Is DK? I think DK was full practice participant this week. So if DK is a full go, then probably Addison.
Questionable, but expected to play.
All right, give me Lockett. Because there's no telling. Because if DK goes down in that game, or Lockett's going to have a day. So, and I mean, Lockett has played well. He's been showing that he's a good target, hogging that offense. So, I think I would go Lockett just with the situation the way it is right now. But Addison is right there if DK is 100%. But I'm leaning Lockett. And then for the second question, that's the battle of inefficient running backs. But I'm going to go Najee because I think he's better than Madison because I can't stand Madison.
Yep, that is a talent play. Najee has more talent than Alexander Madison. Just kind of roll with it, I guess.
For those who don't know, this entire offseason, even when we did our running back rankings, week 1, I even have him as the start of the week. Alexander Madison's been coined by me as Mr. 3.7 yards per carry, and I'm so happy that people are actually seeing what I was talking about because he's horrible. He's never been good. I never understood why people thought he would be good because volume doesn't matter when you're not a good running back.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
So
what I'm looking at here for Najee, right? Statistically, back-to-back weeks with around 5 points. A lot of people are kind of out on Najee for sure. However, you got to look at it, right? He had 2 tough matchups against 2 tough run defenses. He still averaged 4.6 per carry. Now he's playing the Raiders, who have given up the 3rd most yards and points to the running back position in fantasy this year. He should be in your lineup this week, and he should be good. I would say Najee goes for at least 12 points this week. I think Najee has a bit of a bounce back game to kind of silence some of the haters.
May I ask something? Just real quick. Cooper, pop in the chat if you still need a player. If you need a trade, I need a player too because I'm hurt too. So, all right, sorry, continue. I just saw that in our sleeper app.
No, that was really it. But I like Najee this week.
I do too.
And this is also kind of like the make or break week for him. Like if he doesn't perform well against the Raiders, then you can go full panic mode on Najee and move forward elsewhere.
Correct. Yeah, I am. Like I said, not a huge Najee fan. Remember, even in that league that we did, where I was like, I'm going to do some stuff I don't normally do, where I drafted Najee. We're good at that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on here. We got 30 minutes till kickoff. We have plenty of games to get through still, so we're going to kind of rapid fire. Continue to ask your questions. Never mind, we're going to pivot to answer a question that just got drafted. We will always
standard leagues.
Yeah, we're getting hit with a lot of standard league questions today. Need a flex.
Nice.
London, Judy, Jerome Ford, or James Conner? I'm probably rolling Jerry Judy on this one.
I'm going London.
Yeah. It was between Judy and London for me.
That's me too.
London, had obviously put up the donut week 1, but had a fantastic game last week with a touchdown. I think he put up like 18 points or something like that in PPR formats.
Yeah.
Don't really know what that was in standard, but
there's a good chance that the Broncos, are playing from behind a lot of that game, so he could get a lot of just targets in that regard. There's some upside there, less upside with London. I just don't like the way Judy's been used so far. It just doesn't inspire me much confidence in me at all. So, but it's very close between London and Judy. But I'm probably going to lead London. But since Cheney said Judy, I wouldn't argue with you that, but I would start those 2 over Jerome Ford, James Conner easy.
Yep. I just think that the Broncos and Dolphins matchup is going to have a little bit more of a pass-happy type thing. So I think Jerry Jeudy is going to get a lot more of the looks because that Broncos team is starving for a victory.
I think it's just a matter of how far from behind is each team playing. Like if the Falcons aren't playing from behind, then it's going to be tough sledding for London. Because we know the Broncos are going to be probably a pretty high scoring game. So I'm leaning London. But I can see either one of those two, but Jerome Ford, James Conner's a no-go.
For sure. Okay. Bills -6 at Commanders.
Hold up.
Gonna win this week with 3 tight ends in the lineup.
Sorry,
I'm drunk already.
All right, pull the game back up. Sorry, I just wanted to pop that up there because that seems like my team right now.
What do you think's in this cup? Huh?
Oh baby, purple drink.
It's coffee.
You got some lean in there. Oh damn, we're gonna get demonetized or whatever. We're not monetized. Jokes on you, YouTube.
Some fucking dirty Sprite, you know?
Yeah.
Commanders.
My underdog of the week.
Yeah, looks like you're riding the Washington Commanders underdog train again.
Yes, sir. The most recent line I had saw was 5.5. I don't know where that's at now. It could be 6, could be 5.5. So
it very well could be.
Commanders, they are 2-0, and I hate to say I called it, but I called it. Me and Cheese here have this recording locked deep in the depths where my bold prediction was a dark horse Washington Commanders division win. I was talking about how high on them how high I was on Sam Howell. And I'm rocking with them this week as the underdog. I don't know necessarily if they'll pull it out. Depends on what Buffalo comes out plays. Like I think if Buffalo plays like Buffalo, they should win. But the Commanders, man, they're tough. They're a tough team to beat. Yeah, it's going to be in Washington. So.
And you were correct. The current line as of this morning is 5.5. So,
got it. Cool.
Like I said, I just updated those lines last night.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to be constantly moving even during the show. Some we're going to move.
Yep.
So
Ravens and Colts moved to 7.5 as well. So
yeah. One thing to point out to everybody, we do have our producer Corey in the background. He is keeping the rankings and everything up that you see at the bottom. There's going to be injury news all up to date. He's keeping them constantly updated, rankings, etc. Big, the whole nine. So just peek your eyes down there, keep up with the injuries as they come across, and if there's anything huge breaking, we'll drop it on the show. So, shout out to Corey though.
Yep. Also, shout out
Jackson.
to Jackson.
Thanks for dropping in,
last
man.
week. Loved the promotion that Jackson
Host of
gave
the
to
Jacksonian.
us.
Host of the
Yes,
Jacksonian YouTube. Get there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is up, my man? All right.
Appreciate you stopping in, man.
Let's keep her moving.
Is there? Sorry,
Houston Texans at
man.
the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars favored -7.5. I'm going to take the Jaguars -7.5 on this one. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to. I have Trevor Lawrence in my top 10 quarterbacks this week.
I don't.
There's actually a lot of player props that I love out of this game. I think Travis Etienne's rushing yards line was at like 60-something yards. I can easily see him going in a positive game script for like 80 yards on the ground or more.
I got Etienne as RB1.
Yeah.
By the way, for everybody out there.
When you have the Houston Texans super fan over here putting the opposing running back as the RB1 in his rankings, that should tell you something.
I am realistic, and go ahead. I'll get into it.
Yeah, but I think Trevor Lawrence throws for 2 touchdowns. I think you see Calvin Ridley again kind of open up this week. Sneaky little sit here though. I would be hesitant to start Christian Kirk. Not because
I have no choice.
Right. Well, I don't have a choice in another.
But I like either. So I like her.
I think that you're going to get probably a good quarter and a half or 2 quarters of production from him, and then it's going to be just run the ball the rest of the game kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so for that, anytime that you're looking at a position to where you might have to solely rely on one half of work for an entire game, there might be some better options out there.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to start him if you have to, of course. But if you do have a better option, I would definitely
run him out there.
Yeah. But
yep.
Nico Collins should see a very healthy target share again. Tank Dell should see a good 6 to 8 targets, in my opinion, as well. Damian Pierce, you might want to look for another option, in my opinion.
I almost had him as my set of the week.
I wouldn't mind starting CJ Stroud in the super flex, though.
CJ, listen, people need to really last week, people didn't watch the game. I know, because people were like, yeah, but he did it. They were down a couple touchdowns. He did it. No, the Colts defense was pressing the entire game. They were never in a prevent defense. So, and our entire offensive line is just banged up. Laramie Tunsil being out is huge. He has no time, and he threw for 384 yards, the most of any Ohio State quarterback in NFL history. And so, what he's doing is amazing. We're just down, our top corner in Derek Stingley. He's out. Jalen Petry's out. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing blank. Our other safety's out. I'm drawing blank on his name. I'm just brain fart right now. But so our top 3 defensive backs are out. Our offensive line's hurt, and our offensive line wasn't good to begin with. So yeah, it's tough right now. But Texans are going to cover. And Corey, take back that shout out to the back. Get out of here.
All right. So before I bring up the banner here, with the news of Aaron Jones and Christian Watson both out, the line has shifted for the Saints and Packers. The Saints are now listed as 1.5 point favorites at Green Bay, at Lambeau. I hopped on the sports book to see if the line had changed for it. So it's going to be tough sledding for Green Bay. But,
it is. Y'all are in a very similar situation as us, just banged up to hell.
Yeah.
With a new QB.
I consider the Packers roster and the Saints roster very, very comparable with each other. They're both pretty young for the most part, and they both kind of need to reform an identity off of their recent past. Jordan Love has looked good. I don't think Jordan Love's a good quarterback for fantasy this week. I think he'll be a fine NFL quarterback this week, just not for fantasy.
Who cares about that?
Absolutely. But especially with Aaron Jones out, that's kind of a big hit. I know.
Yeah, that sucks.
I feel like this is a strategy play because Green Bay does have the Thursday night game against Detroit next week.
Get everybody hurt. So definitely.
Well, you know what I mean?
It's a galaxy brain strategy for the Packers to rest everybody by hurting them, get them hurt.
Sit all the fucking questionable guys, and then roll them out in an actual division matchup.
Bill Kane, no.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes. Let's get some here, huh? Yeah. 2019 injuries. Yep. 2020 injuries. 2021 injuries. 2022 injuries. Already banged up. We haven't even seen Christian Watson out there this season. We saw Aaron Jones out there for 2.5 quarters in week 1. Maybe a discussion about conditioning preseason. It is possible. However, I am pro David Bakhtiari and pro anti-turf. So, yeah.
I'm very, very sad you drew him in here because this guy, I don't know how many times I probably blocked you on Facebook. Bill, have I blocked you on Facebook, or was it just Ernsberger? I can't remember. I don't know, but these are the biggest trash talkers ever. He's in the military with me, though. Good people. But he really likes cheese.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure he made cheese for a little bit. I don't know.
But hashtag cheese all the way.
Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. Okay. we do have an actual fantasy question here. Alexander Madison or Joshua Kelly?
3.7 yards per carry. Get out of here, Josh Kelly.
You can fire up Joshua Kelly as a consensus unanimous pick from the CheesyCorn Sports Cast. Yeah.
You won't find me picking Madison outside of week 1 where I had him as the start of the week, and it worked out.
Yep. This Joshua Kelly pick has the CheesyCorn stamp of approval. So
thanks for the question, Finn.
Thank you for the question. Dylan, what's up, boys? Dylan. Need a streamer. CJ Stroud, Matthew Stafford, Geno Smith, Kenny Pickett, Russ, Baker Mayfield. Leaning staff on Monday night versus the Bengals. Russ is interesting too.
Yeah. I think Stafford's tough though. I got Stafford ranked, I think 15. Let me look at my QB rankings just to make sure I give you the right answers. So mine are, let's see, I got Cousins, Allen.
So I got Matthew Stafford at number 10 this week. I think Stafford balls out this week against Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are struggling this year to start the year.
I got Stafford. I got Stafford the highest.
Yep. Probably rolling Matt Stafford on this one. Shout out Puka supremacy.
Agreed.
So,
but I also am a huge CJ Stroud guy because I do think that we are going to be throwing the ball. We, meaning I'm a Texans fan. Oh, yeah. We're going to be throwing the ball a ton, and we're probably going to be playing from behind most of the game. Again, he had 384 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. If the Texans can finish drives, like he could have 4 touchdowns. The problem is right now we're just not finishing drives. We're self-inflicted mistakes and stuff like that. So I would pick Stroud if I trusted our offense more, but I don't. So I hate that I have to go with Stafford though. But yeah.
Maybe Small Hands Pickett will be able to wrap his hands around that ball and throw it accurately this week. Thank you, Chris, for the wonderful analysis on that. It's possible. It is possible. Who knows?
Yeah, that was oh yeah, never mind. We got another question. Great. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate the question. Hollywood or Hopkins, full PPR. I'm a Hopkins guy. I'm not starting any Cardinals. I like D-Hop. D-Hop is healthy this week. Last week, came in with an injury destination, wasn't practicing most of the week. I don't know if he practiced at all that week. So I expect him to be a little bit more involved this week. And I've never been a big Hollywood Brown guy.
Yep. I think Hollywood Brown is still like, he had a good year when Lamar won MVP, right? And then he had a good 6-7 game stretch when the Cardinals started 7-0 that year, back in 2021 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's been relying on that success to just keep his name relevant ever since.
I think people are he's so young. I think people are like, okay, he's the guy now. He's going to do this. And then it's just and it may not even be his own doing. That offense that he's in is just horrible,
I think he's one of those that he might get a good number of targets, but the targets are going to be so inefficient, especially against this Dallas defense. I do know that they lost Trayvon Diggs, which is sad to see for that Dallas defense.
Yes.
But I think that pass rush is just going to get to Joshua Dobbs this week. And
shout out Josh Dobbs.
Shout out Josh Dobbs. Probably my favorite Cardinal this year.
For real. I picked him up. Y'all laughed at me because I picked him up in Dynasty when he was named the starter.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs missed the memo that said they were tanking this year because he's the only dude on that team that's actually giving a shit.
That's why I like him.
Yeah, I think it's
tank, buddy.
It's probably more because he knows that this is his chance to showcase what he can do as a starting quarterback.
Yeah,
because he's been a career backup his entire career.
Yep.
Kind of had that, got cut from the Steelers, or I think he got cut, something like that. And then he got cut from the Browns, or no, that was Kellen Mond. My bad.
Kellen Mond, Texas A&M product.
Hey, shout out, go Aggies, gig 'em.
Hey, no, we don't like that.
I just like saying gig 'em. It's fun to say.
Calm down.
But yeah, D-Hop for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Dylan.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Dylan. Thanks for stopping in, man.
All right. Daniel, can y'all pick 3 running backs for me? We certainly can. Full PPR, Joe Mixon, Alexander Madison, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Brian Robinson Jr. So
I got this.
Start 3, sit 2, right?
So Rashad for me is a sit, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't like Rashad's matchup this week. Is he my sit of the week? I think he is.
He is.
Rashad White's my sit of the week. Brian Robinson was actually in the conversation for my start of the week. Madison, can't stand. Kyron, love Kyron this week. So Brian Robinson, Kyron, and then Mixon.
Yep. Mixon, Kyron Robinson. That's where I was going with it too. Hey, look, I'm as big of a Rashad truther as anyone else out there, but this matchup against the Eagles defense, especially with it being Monday night, if you were going to start him, there's a chance that you're going to be down going into Monday night, having to rely on Rashad White, put up a decent amount of points to get you the win against the Eagles. I don't like it. I don't like the situation. I don't like the matchup. I think there will be better weeks to come for Rashad White.
Agreed.
So, okay. Moving on. Thanks for the question, Daniel.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Back to Jay Dangles. Jacoby Myers or Hollywood Brown. He also does have or Zach Moss following this. So that's kind of the same question as well. Yeah, Moss. Zach Moss for the usage. You got to ride the Zach Moss train until we know what's happening with Jonathan Taylor.
100%.
So,
Moss.
Ride it. So, and then, of course, my pivot comment was a dig at John, not an analysis. I apologize for soiling the chat on your prestigious podcast.
How dare you?
It's okay. We can mute you for a week or so, and you can think about what you did, and you can come back afterwards.
Spam poop in the chat like that bot last week, and then we'll ban you.
It was multiple bots, right? I think one.
Dude, there was like 7 of them. Like we'd immediately ban one, and then 2 more would pop in at the same time, bro. I'm like, what the hell?
Yep.
So it wasn't sabotage.
Here we go. So here's what we're going to do, right? Because we still have a good number of games to go. I'm going to pull it up. We're going to pick who, maybe say one note on each, and then we're going to move on.
Bet.
Okay?
Okay.
Because we have 12 minutes till kickoff.
We have our starts and sits to pull up, too.
Yep. Okay. Boom. Titans, Browns minus 3.5.
Rapid fire, 1 second. Hold on. This is correct. Absolutely. We trash talking the Chiefs, bro. I will get demonetized for life if then I can continue to trash talk the Chiefs.
I mean, we made it through the Colorado trash talk, so
yeah, exactly. But this goes much deeper than Colorado hatred.
That's true. Very, very.
Actually, no. Colorado hatred. Colorado hatred's more deep, but in recent years, like Colorado was the Big 12, Big 8 days. Nebraska's Big 10. But I digress. Waste of time.
Yeah.
But
all right. Titans at Browns. Browns minus 3.5.
Sorry. Brown. Shit. No. I mean, sorry. Apologize. Titans. I don't want to root for the Browns. Yep. Screw the show.
Titans plus 3.5. Falcons at Lions. Lions minus 3 at Detroit. Doesn't really matter because both teams play in the dome anyway, in my opinion. This is my underdog of the week. Rolling Falcons plus 3 on this one. I think Bijan has a feast. And I think Tyler Algier does very well this week too, getting around 15 carries a game. I think he gets into the end zone for sure as well. Give me the Falcons plus 3.
Yes, I have Algier as my start of the week, and I have Bijan Robinson as my number 2 running back of the week because both of those can be true. But I think I think Bijan has the potential to, even on his volume, have running back 2, running back 1 upside just because he's so good. Like it's I know we all saw that video last week of the top from him, just like the way he just looks better than everybody in the field. I don't know what it is about the guy.
By the way, that camera angle was
crazy.
Ridiculous.
That was crazy.
I need more.
Yeah. Just so for fantasy purposes, Algier is my start of the week, and Bijan is high up in my rankings. But you're starting Bijan no matter what. So.
Yep. Panthers at Seattle. Seahawks favored by actually now 5.
Yep. I think I like the Panthers to cover.
Like Panthers. Okay.
I don't like the Panthers really much at all, but for some reason I don't have much confidence. Like I know the Seahawks are going to win the game, but I don't have much confidence that the Seahawks are going to pull away in this one necessarily.
Sure.
I think the Panthers will keep it close, but I think they'll lose.
I think Seahawks win by at least a touchdown. Kenneth Walker in my top 10 running backs of the week. Panthers don't have Bryce Young, so I don't know what the offense looks like with Bryce Young, honestly. But
Kenneth Walker is my number 4, my RB4.
Yep. So we're gonna roll with that here. Okay, moving on here. Bears and Chiefs. Chiefs minus 12.5 is the line.
Sit Patrick Mahomes. Moving on.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
No, I'm just kidding.
Cowboys.
I didn't mean to. But go back to that one.
Cowboys.
Hold on. I do want to touch on a couple things.
Yes, sir.
Bears and Chiefs. Okay. Sky Moore. Pay attention to Sky Moore. He got utilized a little bit more last week. Still is not as efficient as I would like him to be. But, truth. Actually, the Bears are a disaster. They're worse than the Texans. I will say that. Like, as far as
warms my soul.
As far as just franchise, just being the worst, the Texans are out of that. It's the Bears now.
Yeah,
100%. But anyways, Patrick Mahomes. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. Anyways, moving on. We can move on now.
All right, we got Dallas at the Cardinals. The line has moved to 12.5, so 13 would be covering for the Cowboys as well.
Bro, I love this so much. God, I love the Cardinals being terrible. I think I can't pick a minus 13 spread, bro. Like, I hate it, but like,
I know.
Come on, I
know.
Fuck, man. All right, I want to read Vegas, maybe. All right, Cardinals cover.
It feels so nasty either way. You're either picking a double-digit spread or you're picking the Arizona Cardinals to cover. Against the Cowboys.
But I'm almost like confident enough the Cowboys would beat them that bad, but I just can't do it. I can't tell anybody. Yeah. Don't touch a minus 13 spread.
Maybe. Hear me out. Okay. I would feel better maybe if you just like bought a couple points and did like an alt spread of 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like
this right here, Chris, that I get, but like also statistics show that spreads over 9 typically don't pan out. So a couple numbers there in terms of betting. So anything above 9 is typically dicey. So
okay, so here we go here. Double-digit favorites in the NFL are 69, 51, and 1 against the spread. I don't know how far back that goes, though. So that was
would you say double-digit spread, 69, 51?
And 1. 57.5% win rate. That's over the past 5 years.
Okay, so never mind. That sample size I must have been longer because that one was over 9 for some reason. I don't know if that added a change, but it was 9 plus the one that I looked at, and that was his off season. So, but that was in my betting class.
Yep. All right, we do have some questions here,
but I still think they might cover. I do think the Cowboys still might cover that.
Yes.
Ramondre, Peters, Brian Robinson, or Algier. Brian Robinson and Algier for me. Ramondre, man, honestly, Ramondre's right there. I just think I'm sorry, but I gotta go. I have Brian Robinson, Algier as like my 2 of my starts of the week, but like Ramondre's in my top 10, bro. I gotta go Ramondre, but then I'll go Brian Robinson or Ramondre.
Yeah, I was gonna say Robinson and Ramondre. If this is just a start 1, I'm probably.
Man, I'm so torn. Actually, I want to go Algier and Ramondre.
I'm saying Ramondre just because I have him in my top 10 this week.
Oh, it's start 1.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh damn, Ramondre. That sucks.
Yeah, I have Ramondre in my top 10 this week. So
yeah, me too.
Ramondre.
But I love Brian Robinson. I love Algier. I probably rank them Ramondre 1, Algier 2, Robinson 3, Pierce 4.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, we got 5 minutes till kickoff here. Steelers, Raiders minus 2.5. Actually,
I don't like
now.
either of these teams, but
yeah,
I think the Steelers pull it out.
Yep, give me Steelers plus 3. And now on the Corns, lock of the week. Eagles minus 5 at Buccaneers.
Eagles are just a very, very solid team. It's going to be hard for the Buccaneers to do much of anything on them. That's why Rachaad White as a sit of the week. So yeah, I think the Eagles cover this. I think they'll win by 7-10.
Yep. All right. And then the last game on the slate, Rams at Bengals.
Sorry, 1 second. No problem for that. So yeah, no problem this way. Appreciate the question.
Yeah. Rams at Bengals. Bengals -2.5. Give me the Rams in this one. I'm riding the wave of Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua. And Stafford looks good throwing the ball to Puka. Last year he was dealing with that elbow stuff, so I think this is the best we've seen Stafford since that Super Bowl year 2 years ago.
Yep.
The Bengals don't have Joe Burrow. Who's their quarterback? Jake Browning, I think. Yeah.
Is he? If Burrow was in there, I'd pick the Bengals. If Burrow's in, Bengals. If not, Rams.
Yep. Give me the Rams. All right. Let's move on to our starts and sits of the week here. We will.
We got
where'd they go?
3 minutos. 3 minutos.
I don't know where they went. Hold on here.
I'll pull them up.
All right. Let's move on to yours first.
All right.
Walk us through your starts and sits.
Algier, again, just volume. He's getting a significant amount of volume in that offense, and he is being used on the goal line. So I like Algier. For that reason, Mike Williams, crazy upside this week. I do think that game's going to be high scoring. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a ton. Same reason I picked Kirk Cousins. He's my QB1 this week. So in my sits of the week, Rachaad White, as I mentioned, Romeo Doubs being shadowed by Marshawn Lattimore, and Geno Smith against Carolina, who I said, I thought Carolina would cover that spread. So.
Yep. Okay. And then to close it out here, my starts of the week, Joshua Kelly against the Minnesota Vikings. And then on the opposite side, we have Jordan Addison at wide receiver. I think he's going to absolutely eat. I think Derwin James is going to be providing a lot of over-the-top support on the Justin Jefferson side, which is going to open up Jordan Addison a lot. And then QB Trevor Lawrence. We talked about it earlier with the Texans and Jags game. Sits of the week, James Conner. He's not going to do a fucking thing against the Dallas defense. We talked about the Garrett Wilson sit play earlier.
Garrett Wilson's crazy.
You know what? I got
called
out
ballsy,
last
though.
week.
I like it.
I got called out last week for saying Cam Akers was my sit of the week. And after I said that, they marked him inactive.
So I can vouch. I can vouch for the fact you said that first, and then he was marked inactive. But
I had to go a little bit crazy. That way, no one shout, you, Chris, saying, "Oh, well, obviously he's a fit." Like,
also Garrett. It's also Garrett with 2 T's, I think. Come on, Cheney, get your life together. And then the Bears, because of course the Bears.
I think you spelled Algier wrong. So
I probably spelled it wrong. I'm going to be honest. I probably did.
And then my sit. QB, Justin Fields. Yeah, until he stops looking robotic.
Yep.
And the coaching staff allows him to actually do what he's fucking good at, it's going to be him.
Goes play backyard football like last year. But we have 1 minute to the games, people.
Yeah. Didn't call me out for that. Average 1 yard. Yeah, well, you're the one that drafted him in the 5th round. So let's pump the hate brakes here. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jackson, the Bucks haven't been challenged yet, but they will be on Monday night. Yeah. True.
100%.
For sure.
Okay. Be sure to connect with us on all of our social media platforms for more chance to interact with the show. Our social media is listed down below. If you guys did like the stream today, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully you guys got your lineups locked in. Hopefully we can help you guys get that dub.
Let's go watch some football, fellas.
Let's go watch some football. Thank you all for coming in to the stream today.
See y'all next Sunday. Peace.